Men's pro singles. And quickly, Ben Johns showing a volley just to the middle of the court.
0-0.
Did you say something about a drop volley, Dave?
I did. I appreciate the young man doing that right out the gate here. But, you know, you have to have the quickness to know that you're going to get into a cat and a mouse game if you bring them forward like that. And he has that two-handed roll that was beautiful right there to get him off to a good start.
Outstretched and out of bounds. We will play singles 2 out of 3. Doubles competitions will be played 3 out of 5. Games to 11. And this is where the aggressiveness shows in Collin Shick's game. He's not scared to come in and take some of those balls just off the top of his shoelaces.
No, he's doing it all day against Dylan Frazier. The one thing he didn't do, and you saw it there, which would really make him even more effective, is go after his serve. He was just laying it in, which makes that next ball more difficult.
And again, look at this drop volley. That's wild.
It's absolutely different. The players aren't used to that. Yeah.
Nobody's doing that. It's all about keeping them at the baseline.
Yeah.
No way. Collin Shick again sliding in through the kitchen.
I mean, he displayed that ridiculous athleticism on Thursday, and it is right there again today, Cameron.
Then keeping that return back to the middle.
I mean, just seeing that 30 on the scoreboard is just jarring underneath the 1 with the seed.
That's a good point. Little inside out for Ben Johns. His first point now on the board. You mentioned tough serves. Well, Ben Johns known to have one of the toughest, tons of depth. Oh, he had a perfect setup. So 2-2. Ben Johns is going to be forced to come to the net and really work on his wheels getting up there.
Good thing he's in Daytona. A lot of engines around here.
Long. Yeah, it is bike week here in Daytona Beach. The engines have been roaring for the past 4 straight days. Wow, one step, and then the forehand again.
Yeah, and the ability to be able to have that lateral quickness, Cameron, is unique, and he comes so far over the top on that topspin, you make your opponent pop up the next one.
Hands battle, men's pro singles. You gotta be kidding me.
Are there 2 ghosts playing doubles? Because we don't ever see that in singles.
2-3.
That is just electric in terms of movement. Oh, a little deception here. He misses.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, some trickery.
Yeah, that's what you can do with that two-hander. Hold it there until the last second. He tried to pull the left hand through and caught the net.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the pressure. Now you're going to have to hit multiple quality passing shots because he has the length and the reach to get to everything. And you see Ben's returning everything to the forehand side because the backhand was on display Thursday. That's all he's seen as far as history from the young man, so he's keeping him away from that backhand.
Oh, Ben Johns, that's just dirty.
Yeah, you saw Shick looked at that, took a step to the right and went, uh-oh, that's going to the left here. That's that Ben backhand that he can hold so well. But the pace of this is unbelievable.
I haven't seen a singles competition like this. Again, from 3 feet behind the kitchen line. Oh, that
just
ball's
wide.
out of bounds.
Yeah,
I thought this was in. My fault.
No, I couldn't tell what the Ben's. I didn't know if he gave him the flat hand or called it wide. It was just wide.
My bad. So 5-3 for Ben Johns.
Yeah, it's just such a unique thing to be thinking, I got to go forward on my next ball.
Yeah.
3-5.
Ben just moving his right shoulder out of the way. That ball's long.
Yeah, Ben said I'm wearing all blue, so he's got the Tar Heel blue on today for Mr. Shick to look at.
Point.
Ben Johns, just 23 years of age, 6 foot. Now residing in Austin, Texas, originally out of Maryland. Change of pace.
Yeah, fortunate for Mr. Shick there. And it's ironic that Ben is playing against a Collin, too. Let's just put that out there.
I was just waiting for me to say Collin Johns on accident in this match.
Oh, he slipped.
Oh, he slipped. What a bummer. That was an insane get on the backhand side. Here's a look at it.
What a bummer, because he would have been there.
6-3.
Ben Johns keeps going to that backhand side. That's his bread and butter, especially in the game of singles.
Yes.
He loves to go inside out and then rip inside in up the line as well.
Yeah, and if it doesn't bounce, he's going to have to eat that little drop volley cut that is the specialty of Shick.
He goes straight at him. Look at this read.
And the ability to get the next ball down and away is really hard on the move. I mean, what he's doing on the move is ridiculous.
Make it 5-6. Shick gets 1 to go. Ben Johns in a different position right now, facing off against an opponent he has never seen before. And a missed return knots things up at 6.
You can see how hard he's having to work already.
Ben's trying to stay away from that backhand on the return, but he's still finding it on the opposing shot.
Yeah, if he doesn't do enough with that, then he is giving that backhanded so many options, and Shick has come all the way back.
Shick showing that he's got a forehand too. Cross-court winner, 8-6, and Ben Johns calls a timeout.
What a start for the youngster.
1 minute.
So Collin Shick showing his chops on both the backhand and the forehand side. He's got Frank Anthony Davis right now with a notepad in hand, giving him the scouting report. A 5-point run for Collin Shick. He now has a 2-point advantage over Ben Johns. Men's pro singles here on the Carvana PPA Tour. The Red Clay Hot Sauce Florida Open. First match on Championship Sunday. What's crazy is almost now you believe that anything's possible with Collin Shick on that backhand side, just flinging those balls.
100%. And you saw that Ben did change and return to the backhand there.
Side.
So we'll see if that continues.
Off the net, cross court, another side out.
Even that is such nice composure, Cameron, because a lot of times people panic when it goes off the tape. He hits a great ball there, doesn't overhit it. Oh my.
Seriously. Again, off the net forehand, and he just lets the paddle do the work for him. That's 3 inches out of reach for Ben Johns. 9-6. Forehand, up the line. 10-6.
7 in a row and has a game point.
That time working in the favor. Ben Johns goes back to the forehand side. The question is now, where does he shade to? Collin Shick showing he can go cross court as well as down the line.
6-10.
Ben Johns with some work to do. Oh, Ernie from Collin Shick.
So he drops it, brings him forward, sees the paddle position of Ben. The only place that can go is up the line from there, and he's athletic enough to cut it off.
Collin Shick with game 1.
Oh, just a routine 8 points in a row on Championship Sunday against the best player in the world. What are you doing on Sunday, everybody at home?
I am in complete awe. This is my first shot to actually see him in full match play. Collin Shick has come to play on Sunday. An 8-point run for Collin Shick. He is working with that guy right there, Frank Anthony Davis, in his box. But I can't believe what we just saw. Cameron Irwin alongside Dave Fleming. Game 2 about to get underway. So Collin Shick, if you're just joining us, he came into this tournament as the 31 seed in the qualifier. He played 7 matches to get to this Championship Sunday final versus Ben Johns. Right now, he is a game up on the #1 seed. Ben Johns, the king of adjustments. It's going to be interesting to see what he may do differently here in game 2.
Yeah, he's going to want to try and come forward with that first step because he's been pushed that way and he's been having to lunge and barely get there, and then he's been on the defensive. Oh my.
Outstretched Collin Shick with an angle he's only capable of.
That went a millimeter over the net at the most severe angle, Cameron. Come on. We're going to just stop being surprised.
I don't know if that's possible, Dave. 1-2.
And usually you don't get just the crowd just revved like crazy in singles because you don't have the crazy wild shots. They are so into this. It is awesome.
1-2.
Collin Shick off the toe and into the, did he hit the net? Oh, into the net.
No, the ball went off Ben's foot, though. So that's Collin's point. Yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
Hard to tell from that angle.
Yeah, no, that overhead went off the left foot of
2-2.
Ben Johns there. So
2-2.
that'd work in your old sport, Cam. Volleyball.
Yeah, I don't see any other paddles attached to feet yet.
No. I mean, this is electric.
So side out for Ben Johns. 2-2. A beautiful shot from Ben Johns. He hasn't been able to work to that inside in as Collin Shick has been returning just enough middle and protecting the inside out.
Yeah, he's done a great job of both the location and the depth of the return so far, and that's kept Ben from dictating the points.
And a second, exact same. Ben Johns curling that back to the line.
Yeah, just a little too shallow in the court on these returns, and with that cut, if it sits up like that, it gives Ben a real good look at ripping it past young Mr. Shick.
There's the tough serve of Ben Johns. 5-2.
5-2.
Ben Johns starting to hit his spots right now. 6-2.
Yeah, it might be time for a timeout for Collin Shick.
And you are right on cue, Dave Fleming. Timeout by Collin Shick. Also important to remember, game number 1, Collin Shick was trailing 3-6 and then went on an 8-point run. Right now he's down 2-6. Got Collin Johns in the box for Ben. Collin Shick trails 2-6 to Ben Johns, the #1 player in the world. Ben with a shot at a triple crown today on this Carvana Championship Sunday. Ben Johns was all over it, but a little too all over it, out of bounds.
Yeah, and again, these just severe angles from Shick. If he gets a backhand volley, he is going there. So Ben will know it, but just getting there is impossible.
I don't know if Ben Johns has ever seen this many angles in singles before. Collin Shick, backhand up the line, hooks it.
I mean, that's why he wasn't returning there before, because of the wizardry of the backhand. That's a remarkable pass from that deep in the court.
And Collin thought this ball going cross court, and Ben kind of tripped him up there. Nice contact from Ben Johns.
Yeah, sometimes you're too quick in singles and overran
I've never been too quick, unfortunately, Dave.
6-3.
And it lands.
And Ben isn't used to a new player being willing to do this. Cat and mouse, he's attacked him. He's gone right at his body. He don't care.
3-6.
Looks like he's out there running suicides right now. Running some wind sprints is Collin Shick. Ben Johns making him work. We're right back at that same spot. 6-3 with Ben Johns in the lead, mirroring game 1. Contact gone awry for Collin Shick. Now a 4-point margin.
7-3.
A tough serve from Ben Johns kept Collin Shick at the baseline.
Yeah, there's the value, and that is a big difference in this match. The quality and the pace and depth of the serve. I mean, a player that fast couldn't even get to the kitchen line because of how good the Ben Johns serve was.
Oh, cutting that ball down.
I mean, look at that spin back towards the net. That thing never even made it to the kitchen line. That is not easy to do with a pickleball paddle and a pickleball. Look at this thing check
Just
up.
chopping wood over there. Out of bounds. Again, Ben Johns needs this game too after dropping game number 1. Singles competitions being played 2 out of 3. The full effort, and we've seen so many wild angles from Collin Shick. This time it's off the paddle of Ben Johns.
Yeah, it's like, enough of your cute little angles, Mr. Shick. It's my turn. And another timeout here from Shick.
And look at the crowd in the background. Everyone's hands are together because they're hoping we're going to see a game 3. They want more Ben Johns versus Collin Shick. Ben Johns has stepped up his game here in game number 2. Serve velocity and depth has definitely increased, as well as some of his passing shots. He's up 9-3. Just out of bounds, says Ben Johns.
And again, Ben's firing right at Shick, and his hands are good enough to handle it, but quickly a game point here, Cameron.
10-3.
Oh, that is just wicked. Ben Johns curling that ball just inside the court. We're going to 3.
Enough highlights for the med student. I want some of my own, says Ben. And I wanted a 3rd game. The crowd wanted a 3rd game. Let's have a 3rd game, Cameron.
This will be the 20th game played on the weekend for Collin Shick. He now faces one more versus Ben Johns. The next step forward, will it be Collin Shick or Ben Johns? 1 game left to be played in this pro singles championship match. Shick just missing the 3rd. Cameron Irwin alongside Dave Fleming as we get game 3 started here for the Red Clay Hot Sauce Florida Open Men's Singles Championship game.
0-0.
He wasn't missing those early on.
No.
That's a good sign for Ben Johns.
Really is. And the disparity in the pace, depth, and velocity on the serve is palpable here. You can see it.
1-0.
Watch Ben go after this, where Collin Shick's just laying it in.
So a better job on that return. It was, even though it was a little shallow, it was low enough.
Got a little kiss off the tape too, which kept it down. So let's see if he goes after this more, because he's just making it harder on himself on these 3rds when he has so much variety.
Ben Johns doing a really nice job on his serve as well as his own return. That ball within the last foot of the court.
1-0. Side out.
So what, well, we talk about depth of return, but if you're new to pickleball, why does that make the 3rd so much more difficult?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, it gives you the time to get to the net, and secondly, the angles are just much different from that far away. You have no real shot to be able to get it past them when you're that far back. If you can step into the court, you have so many more choices.
Well, and that's another great example right there. Depth of return creating issues.
1-0.
1-0 still. Collin Shick really likes to flip this ball from the backhand all the way across court. Ben Johns has a good read on it now.
Yeah, so that's the read is the magic word you just said there, Cameron. Now he's on it, and you can see split step ready to explode over there. And if that isn't on the ground, Shick is in trouble.
There's the drop volley again. Just enough taken off.
It's just so fun to see a new way to play singles with him. And the players playing him later in the day can thank Mr. Shick, because this has taken a toll on Ben Johns.
Side out.
Long. Oh my. Ben John's ready to serve, sitting at the
2-0.
baseline now.
Point.
Got caught too close to his body.
Yeah, and there you see again, the serve so good that Shick can't even get to the kitchen and take that advantage as the receiver. So really smart adjustments from Ben Johns here. His game play came up a little bit, and he's been in command, as you can see from the scoreboard.
Collin Shick. The drop volley should be named after him at this point.
We've got an Ernie. We're going to just have a Shick now.
But that all was set up by the return just within the last 6 inches of the court.
0-3.
Yeah, for confidence, he just needs to get on the board here.
He's been missing some of his passing shots out the back, but not by a significant margin.
Yeah, the question is always, can you sustain that high level of play? Had that amazing 8-point run in game one. Hasn't been able to match that again since.
I like the thought here, but trying to loop it over Ben Johns' head.
Yeah, he tried to trick that with just, I'm going to swing heavy but slow with the pace because he's going to brush the backside of the ball, but slid it too wide. Oh.
Yeah, that got too much of a bounce. Ben Johns, cross court.
Yeah, Shick almost gave up in the middle of that. His facial expression was like, oh, I didn't get that one where I wanted. Oh, darn.
Ben Johns now on a mission.
5-0. Point. Timeout. Change ends. 6-0.
So fast. Couldn't quite find the contact he was looking for, but Ben Johns right now, he's feeling a lot better, saying, get in there. He's got to get up to the net. Talking to his brother, Collin Johns, sitting in his box. Collin Shick is trailing by 6. Starting to find a new style of men's pro singles and singles in general in the game of pickleball. Collin Shick creating some different strategy. Right now, he's got to find some strategy of his own, trailing by 6 in game 3.
Side out.
He's really been kind of challenging the forward and backward movement of Ben Johns versus just the lateral motion.
Yeah, and you saw Ben Johns urging himself on the side switch here to get yourself going forward. Tight over there.
Tight call. Collin calling that ball in.
Yep.
A bit of the doubt here.
6-0.
Ball was good.
Yep.
Nice shot from Ben Johns.
Point.
And this is the other thing that Collin's not getting, and he will, I'm sure, learn and add to this. When you go after your serve, you put pressure on the quality of that return, as we've talked about, and you get freebies. He's got no freebies because he's just been laying in the serve.
I believe he had 2 in game 1. In which he won. Here's a look. He goes up the line this time. He has been flipping that ball cross court, so another good adjustment. He's got to do some work. He had an 8-point run in game number 1. That's not going to help.
Yeah, just a little frustration creeping in there. Played so loose and so well in game 1.
Wow. Ben Johns with a wild, wild point. Collin, Shick, you just have to go hats off for the gutsiness of some of those contacts.
I mean, what he's getting to, and he's keeping them relatively safe most of the time, Cameron. These aren't just lobs he's throwing up that are getting clobbered.
8-0.
Wow.
Right now, Ben Johns is one step closer to a pickle here in game 3.
You know, and that's the experience. He was able to withstand an incredible game 1, and now he has won 20 of the last 23 points.
Oh, trying to get there. Fans still loving the effort they're seeing on court, even at 10-0. Match point and championship point for Ben Johns. Again, the Collin Shick angle.
Fight until the end.
We've seen the remarkable from him before.
0-10.
I like this. Ben Johns playing that ball.
Yeah.
You don't know, you go. Stay focused on the ball. It's a good play from Ben.
Love that sentence there, Cam. If you don't know, you go.
Second championship point.
10-0.
Ben Johns, victorious in Florida.
Hate to see it end with a miss like that, but I mean, look at how much the crowd loved this young man's effort.
Collin Shick may have not won the championship, but he has definitely won some pickleball fans. He dropped game number 2 and game number 3. Ben Johns, though, he's number 1 for a reason, made massive adjustments and increased his level of play in game 2 and game 3. Look at that, 11-3, 11-0. The man was unrelenting.
Welcome back. I'm Cameron Blackwood here with the winner, Ben Johns. Ben, what a match out there today. Collin Shick, probably the tournament of his life thus far, coming in from the qualifiers. But how do you prepare for someone you've never played or even ever seen on tour before this weekend?
Yeah, first off, I'd just like to say congrats to Collin. It was an incredible run from the qualifiers to the finals. That's amazing. And I just love to see new people in the final, and obviously he's got a ton of skill, an incredible athlete. So really looking forward to see him more. As far as preparation, I had to go and watch a video of his play yesterday because I think this is his first tournament ever. So the only footage I got was from his Thursday singles. So I had to study that and develop a strategy.
And he did a lot of drop shots early on, started to get a lot of momentum, took that game 1. What adjustments did you make there before heading into game 2 and that carried on to winning this match?
Yeah, he was really carving his volleys, dropping a lot short, really taking it off the court. So I had to be more kind of a forward approach, coming in behind the ball, even if I didn't feel comfortable doing it because he was leaving some short. But yeah, a ton of really tough volleys and definitely had to make an adjustment there.
All right, well, you have a long day ahead of you looking to triple crown today. We're going to get Jeff from Red Clay Hot Sauce, my apologies, our title sponsor today, to present the trophy.
Thanks, Cameron. Ben, on behalf of Red Clay Hot Sauce and the PPA Tour, congrats on another trophy.
Congratulations, Ben.